I'm here with Sam Weulander, legendary rock star and the founder of Rock Gods.
What's up, Scotty?
Not too much. How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. I got you in the studio with me now. We tried for a while to get it together, and it's very exciting to have you here.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yes, yeah. I saw you recently on Mike's channel.
Yep.
As a child, as a matter of
Oh,
fact.
yeah.
In the pit at Mirage.
Yep.
I guess so. You're in Rock Gods right now. Can you tell us a little bit about what Rock Gods has going on right now, and any kind of fun stuff that you're doing?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we are gearing up for the summer season, which is always where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
So the big festivals, we get to play at all ages stuff too, and rock out for the young ones, and the big stages. It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yeah. Right now, I'm carrying a 5-piece band.
Okay.
We were a 4-piece band for a little over 10 years, I believe. And I added my best friend, Jason Boso, on guitar. So we've got myself, Isaac on vocals, Johnny on drums, Jason on guitar, and Terrace on bass.
Yep. Boy, you got an all-star cast there too, man. You got. I've
thanks,
known
man.
Terrace for a long time, and Johnny Strut. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
You know
Oh,
what
yeah.
I mean? You can't say Johnny Strut and not know that the band's good. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You just can't. I mean, you had a different lineup, but you actually played the last Mirage, the reunion show, right?
Oh, yeah, yep.
Yes, and
Yep.
that was Rock Gods. That was different lineup, but it was still Rock Gods.
That was Rock Gods. Back then, I'm not even sure who my drummer was. If it was Strut yet, or it may have been Jerry. Because
or was it Sean? I think it was Sean at that
or
time.
was it Sean at that time?
I think it was Sean.
It may have been.
I think it was
You know
Sean
what? It
and
may have
Uzi.
been Sean. Yeah, Sean and Uzi. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm the only original member of Rock Gods.
Yep.
Yep.
You're the one keeping it together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
that's right.
Let's say. Yeah, it was pretty surreal for me when we got to play the show with Sanctus, and like that was my favorite band as a high schooler. You know,
Yeah.
I had Megadeth, Pantera, Metallica, all that cool shit, and then Sanctus.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, and they were my age too, so I'd go all the way from Ascove, Minnesota, drive down to see Sanctus at the Mirage and hang out, and I guess inevitably a couple times stage dove.
Yeah. Yep. There is videotape
Yeah,
of
there's
that.
video proof of that.
Real
you know?
videotape. Yes.
Yeah.
Were you from up north, you said? Or
Yep, yep.
Whereabouts were you from?
I was born and raised in Ascove, which is about 17 miles north of Hinckley.
Okay. All right. I don't know the area, but I'm
By the
thinking it's
casino,
north.
Not far from the Grand Casino Hinckley.
Oh, okay. All right. And so how did you find out about like Sanctus and stuff like that from just were you the metal guy in the neighborhood and you just had all the feelers out for everything?
I was pretty much the metal guy in the neighborhood, but I believe it was my friend Shane Gilby who went to school with Mike in Coon Rapids. And
Okay.
he must have saw him at Schmidt Music a couple times and got their cassette. And
Yep.
then he told me about the band, and then I'm like, I got to go see this guys.
Yeah.
And then my brother and I passed him around the hometown. Everyone our age out there that was in like my clique loved the band.
Oh, yeah.
We play that cassette till I think it burnt out.
Yeah, the Swords of Sadness.
Yeah, Swords of
And then,
Sadness, yep.
so they got
Average,
you
yep.
at front of stage for I think it was Incomplete was the song that you're at front of stage, and then most recently when they got together and they filmed Swords of Sadness, they got you standing right in the front
Yep.
again of that. So it's like
Yep.
25 years difference.
I know.
Yeah.
I actually think it was Swords of Sadness both times.
Was it really?
Yeah.
That's the greatest song. It really
Yeah,
is.
it really is. It's such a great tune.
Yeah.
I think it was. That's why when Mike said, Sam, 1993, Sam, 2023, 24.
Or 23, yeah,
Was
yeah.
it 23 or 24?
I don't know.
I don't
Years
know.
go by, man.
Yeah, it was soon. It was recent, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And that was the thumbnail on the video. That was
Yup.
great. It's
Yup.
Sam in both
That was
places.
great.
Yeah. So when did you move down here? How old were you when you moved down here?
Let's see. I moved down in the area shortly after I was 21. I
Okay.
believe I was living in Little Canada
Oh, I gotcha.
by 1998.
Okay.
99.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha. And you were a guitar player.
Mm-hmm.
When did you start playing guitar?
I started playing guitar in high school, right around the 15 mark. So,
Oh, okay.
15
Right on.
years old.
Right on. How'd you learn? Did you go through a crash course? Did you just pick it up?
I am 100% self-taught.
No kidding.
Never had a full lesson in my entire life.
Nice. Right on.
Never had one lesson.
Right on. I remember the first time that I saw you that I knew of. I mean, I apparently would have seen you at the Mirage show, but you were a little kid at that time. But first time I saw you playing was I believe it was Black Dog, and you were playing with Mortal Chaos.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I just remember looking, and it's like that dude has a Zakk Wylde Les Paul up on stage right there. That's yeah, and that was Mortal Chaos was some really talented veterans too. I remember that, and you were the young.
I was.
You were the young kid coming on into the scene. How'd that all work out? How'd that happen?
That's actually a story in itself. I hope the guys, because I'm going to name a couple here from Uncle Chunk. I hope they are cool with this. Yeah. I had actually been dating this girl that now is my ex-wife, my first wife,
okay.
with my mother, and my kids, and I was living in a little apartment in St. Paul, and at that time, I kind of put music on the wayside for a while, and I just was a bodybuilder. I was big time into bodybuilding and stuff, and she came home from work one day, and I was playing my amp, just dusting it off in the corner, and she's like, holy crap, I didn't know you could play like that. I'm like, well, I told you I played back in the day. And she's like, no, I didn't know you played like that. I was like, we got to get you in a band right now.
Really?
And I'm like, what? Really? She goes, yeah, back in the good old City Pages days.
Yeah.
So she pulls out City Pages, and it says, Uncle Chunk looking for a new guitar player. Are you our guy? Or something like that. And she's like, here you go, right here. So I called the number, went and auditioned, made their finals. And then I got a phone call like the week later after that. It was Nate from Uncle Chunk that called me up and said, hey, they had found their guy. It was their good friend Mike, who's now been in the band for like over 20 years now, I believe.
Oh, okay. I got you. So that was meant to be.
Yep.
Yeah,
and then I guess Steve, who was managing Mortal Chaos, asked Uncle Chunk for their list of guys that auditioned and made the finals. My name came up. They called me, and the rest was history. I guess I went and auditioned for Mortal Chaos and got the gig, and it was a fun time.
Wow. How long were you with them for?
3.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a pretty big jump from not doing anything with music to just all of a sudden, because you guys played a lot.
We did play a lot. We played a lot of good shows.
Yep. That was before the SKA stuff. So that would have probably been 99, 2000?
No, I joined Mortal Chaos at the end of 2003.
Okay.
So it would have been, I got the Zakk Wylde guitar in 2005. So it would have been between 2005 to 2007.
Okay. And I started talking to you roughly around 2008, 2009.
Yep.
And then we didn't realize. Did you realize that we had the connection from the Sanctus guys?
No,
I didn't know that until last year.
Because I remember when you and I were talking one time. I don't know how this conversation came up, but then we were talking about Snafu and your old guitar player, wherever he was. I think it's L.
Oh, Rick.
Okay.
Lee. Leland.
Yeah, Leland. Yeah.
He goes by
Leland.
Lee,
Yeah. And then I was like, "What? You're Snafu?" You're like, "Yeah, I was the lead singer." I'm like, "Oh my god," because that was the Sanctus days too, where your cassette was like all handwritten and it was just Snafu written on white and black, white and black, and I was like, "Oh yeah."
Oh yeah.
And then I saw you with Wrecking Machine open up for Hairball a couple times. Because I used to follow Hairball big time back in the day before I got really busy with Mortal Chaos and all that. And
well, Hairball was. Did you start following before they got big?
Yes.
Yeah.
From the very beginning,
you'd go and there'd be like 40 people there, and
from the very beginning. Yep. Russ was my friend. So was Brooke. Okay. Brooke Krieger. He actually ended up playing at my wedding. in 2003.
Really? You were in Mortal Chaos and you did that for a few years, and then after Mortal Chaos, that's when you started Rock Gods, right?
Actually, between Rock Gods and that, I played in Horizontal Hero for a while with Pat and Jeff.
Okay.
Again, from Mortal Chaos.
Yep.
That was a lot of fun. That band was really good, and they continued quite a few years after I parted that one too. And then I had a little stint before Rock Gods. Actually, I was in Joan and the Whales for a year. Yeah,
really?
I was in Joan and the Whales. That was a lot of fun, man. One of the best female vocalists I think ever to hit the scene, especially in the cover world, was Rachel from Joan and the Whales.
Wow.
She moved to New York, I believe, to be a big shot lawyer, and she's loving her life now. But she was a lot of fun. An amazing singer,
Nice.
young, and we had a lot of chemistry on stage.
I had
it was a good
no
time.
idea.
Yeah.
because Joan and the Whales is huge.
Oh yeah,
You know?
Yep.
I mean, so you already dropped Uncle Chunk and Jonah and the Whales. See, this is why these are so fun to do.
After Joan and the Whales, I did the Horizontal Hero thing for a while, and then from there, I went to Rock Stars. That's where I met Sean. Who ended up being my original drummer in Rock Gods. That's where I met Sean Burrington. Mm-hmm. I believe they went to Sunset Strip. They changed the name to Sunset Strip.
Katie went off and did her own thing.
Katie went off and did her own thing.
And then Sunset. Yeah, Sunset's. Yes, it was Sunset Strip, and that was.
I think Jefferson was singing for him at the time.
That's right, Jefferson. Yep.
Yep. Because then when those guys left, it was me and Uzi and Sean from Rock Gods. We would do Sunset Strip once in a while because we could get away with doing more things on Sunset Strip and rotate our singers and stuff more often.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of fun. We had Sunset Strip and Rock Gods both going once in a while at different times. With us, actually, before we were Rock Gods, the very first name we tried to be was Celebrity Sighting. Because my idea was we were going to dress up each set. Each member would dress up with a different celebrity, and we figured it could be anything. Then it wouldn't necessarily have to be music. We could be Johnny Depp. We could be this, or that. That's something that I thought was never done before. I thought that could be really cool. So I just kind of batted around some ideas, and I just came up with Rock Gods with a Z. I'm like, that just explains exactly what we want to do. So we're going to be the gods of rocks. At first, we did dress up. Each member picked an icon to be. Like, for instance, we did 3 sets back then. 360-minute sets. So I was Zach Wilde for a set. I was CeCe DeVille for a set, and I was George Lynch for a set. And then it would rotate once in a while. And Sean, the drummer, Sean Burrington, he was just Peter Criss all night because he's like, I'm not going to change my makeup. But it was really cool. He did a really great Peter Criss, and it was fun like that for a while. And then eventually Rock Gods just kind of phased out of the whole character thing, and now we just dress cool, just dress like the 80s.
Yeah.
We still dress to dress, bring it, but none of us are mimicking any certain character anymore.
Gotcha. Like that last show that I saw was with your current lineup right now. And wow, what an amazing bunch of players. I mean, seriously, you guys. That and your singer. What's the deal with your singer? He's like a young kid now. You're bringing in more youth into the scene. Is that right?
I met Isaac Stangler when he was 19 years old. He filled in for me for a doubleheader in Duluth.
Okay.
And that was when my original singer, Chris Seeley, left the band for, I'm not sure, the first or second time. Mm-hmm. But Isaac came in, and I just saw the potential in him right away and just kind of grabbed him under my wing. And he filled in for me for many years, was my go-to guy. Then he joined the band full-time. Then he had to leave for a while to do his original band stuff, which he did very good at. And then he just wasn't happy, and he came back to me, and he's been back solid for quite a while now.
Wow.
He is the youngest in the band by quite a bit. I believe Isaac, I think he finally turned 30, or he's 29.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I can't remember.
So he's been with you forever then.
I believe we met in 2014, I want to say.
Okay.
Maybe it was 2013.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, he was 19, so if I did the math back
he'd be like
then.
28, something like that, somewhere
Yeah,
in between.
yeah, so 28. So yeah, I think it's 29 actually.
Okay.
But
wow.
Yep.
That's crazy. So what kind of stuff do you got coming up? I don't want to get too far ahead because we still got more to talk about.
Oh
but
no,
yeah,
we
yeah.
got we had a couple really good ones coming up. We are playing Tribute Fest again in Duluth. That is the real big one on
Okay.
I can't think of the area right now. You can
Superior,
edit it.
Duluth, Superior.
Yep, Duluth. The big one the Hairball do every year, but they do it on 4th of July. Tribute Fest is the last weekend in August,
Okay.
and it's at the
It's some event
what the hell
center or
is it?
something like that.
It's outside.
It's
It's
an
a
outdoor venue?
huge stage, right over by the deck.
Just checking the
Bayfront,
cameras.
Bayfront Music Park.
Okay,
in
Bayfront
Duluth.
Music
Yeah,
Park,
Bayfront.
okay.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So we are playing the last slot on Friday night.
Oh, okay. That sounds like a lot of fun. What
Yeah.
other kind of? Have you heard of any of the other bands that are going to be part of that?
This year I have not seen the lineup yet fully.
Okay.
I'll have to check it out. I believe there's a Bon Jovi tribute, and then Rock Gods. You just kind of get the ultimate '80s tribute because we do everything. We don't just pick one band, but
Yep.
we do quite a bit. So we get a full 90-minute slot. So you'll hear a lot of cool stuff.
That's cool.
We'll play like Skid Row and Motley Crue, and well, it's gonna really feel like it by Memorial Day weekend because we play the Hillman Mud Fest, which is a lot of fun too.
What is
That's
that?
outdoors, and actually running the sound engineer for me that night is Christopher Blood.
Really?
Yeah.
Is the hype on the show then too? Then or is it just
No, but Jerry's my drummer for the night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Johnny Strutt, my drummer, will be out of town on a family event, and I have Jerry filling in on drums, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Christopher.
Yeah,
He's so pure.
Yeah, he's great.
Like, I mean, at the American Legion that they played, seriously, I didn't even have any ringing in my ears.
Yeah.
After Sanctus
Yeah, me
played,
neither, yeah.
and I walked out, and I was standing right by the speakers. And Christopher is just so flipping good
so
at what
good.
he does. I mean, you can
Yeah.
tell when somebody loves what they do.
Yep.
You know, it's a big difference. It's a
Yep.
big difference.
And then once we get back in the fall, we have Rock God's 13-year anniversary party. That will be at the Doghouse in Maplewood, Saturday, December 21st.
Wow. And didn't you start at the Doghouse? Or
Wait,
where did you start?
Where did I start?
Yeah. What was your first show?
My very first show was the Doghouse, but not with Rock Gods, but that was with Mortal Chaos.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, my
Oh.
first show with Mortal Chaos was at the Doghouse.
Nice.
You know, my first show with Rock Gods was at Pavlitsky's, which is now gone.
Oh, is it?
Pav's on 65, Pavlitsky's.
Oh, yeah, Pobs. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those northern bars, I never can.
That was a fun bar, and the Pavs over in Andover was really fun. That was a good time too.
What kind of stuff can somebody expect if they are going to come see a Rock God show?
If you go to Rock God's show, especially for your first time, picture some of the music videos, the iconic ones back in the 80s. Like, for instance, like Warrant, if we play Down Boys, you're going to see us do the same moves they do. And we're going to have the flashy outfits, and we got choreography, and we do kicks and jumps, and we play a lot of the cool 80s stuff. So you're going to see a lot of flashy stuff like that, and you're going to hear bands that maybe a lot of people don't do, try and touch on, like Slaughter,
Yeah.
Steelheart, Skid Row, things that are difficult to sing because Isaac can nail all that.
Yeah, yeah, he definitely can.
We do that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It was we blew a tire on a trailer coming back from a far thing, and then luckily we were so early for the next show because we had to provide production too that we were able to have someone bring us a trailer from the actual venue. They had a spare, drive it all the way out to us, put it on in time, and get back there and get set up and start the show on time.
Oh,
But we blew a tire on the trailer. It was awful.
that's horrible.
Middle of nowhere. We were playing in the place our destination was Watson's hunting camp in Watson, Minnesota. Would that be correct? In Chippewa County Hunting Club. Yeah, Watson, Minnesota.
Hey, there we go.
Yep. So that was our destination that day. I believe we were coming from North Dakota. I want to say possibly the Fargo area.
Was it for the oil boom stuff?
You're getting close.
Williston,
You're getting closer. Yeah, Williston. That area.
the oil guys, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely the oil guys. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Yep. So we were playing there, and then we're driving all the way back to Watson, Minnesota, which is cutting across the opposite direction, and we blew a tire like about 35 miles from Watson's, and
my wife's from North Dakota. We drive that. There's nothing for a very long time on that road.
Yeah.
There's nothing. So
Yep.
that would really suck.
Yeah, it did. One person passed us, and Sean hopped in with them. It was a couple, so like a girlfriend and a boyfriend type thing. And the nearest town was 20 miles, so they drove him. Oh, that was a different story. That was when we ran out of gas because Sean was driving the truck, so the rest of us could kind of crash a little bit and try and get a nap in. Because we all rode together on some of those bigger rides. We just take the minivan. I believe at the time I didn't have my Expedition, and we pulled the trailer, and he neglected to tell us that we're running low on gas, and probably figured we could make it. And and you go 20 miles to get a gas can and come back.
Oh my
fill
God.
it up so we can make it to the gig.
To the next step.
Man.
Yeah. So you played. It sounds like you've played like all over. Is it now? First off, do you have representation, or do you represent yourself?
Right now, I represent. I am the agent, so I represent myself. Yeah.
Okay. And did it take you a long time to get to that point, or have you been doing that for? Because I think that you've been, every time I've dealt with you, it's just you that I deal with. I've never had to call like John Domago or you know what I mean, or Greg Absey or something.
It's been quite a while. I've used help from agents for certain shows here and there, but I haven't been exclusive with anyone since 2015.
Wow.
2016.
That's impressive, man. That really is.
It's been a while. Yeah.
I can't. Yeah, that's a lot because especially for the amount of areas that you're going to. So how do you find out about these gigs that are like so far away and everything?
Well, back then we actually had a couple really good ones we did play. We played consistently. We played the Bottoms Up Biker Run in Marmarth, North Dakota. Those are always good stories there. That was fun. I got a story about that. But anyways, I would always call it Montana when I described to people because it was one town away from Baker, Montana.
Okay.
So it was in the middle of nowhere. The only way you could get cell service was driving to the top of the railroad tracks with Verizon. Otherwise, you weren't getting cell service. And this was an awesome 3-day binge out there. Outdoor stage, great sound, bikers, camping, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But we always stayed at the same hotel on the way to it, so we're still in North Dakota at that hotel. I can't remember what city it was. If we named me some cities close by, I could probably recall it. Yeah. Anyways, the water was so oily. So when we were talking about saying, God, I can't get my hands clean. We're like, check this out. So we lit the water as it's coming out of the faucet on fire. What? There was so much oil inside the water that we're supposed to wash our skin with. We're like, are you effing kidding me?
And that's in North Dakota?
Yeah, it's in North Dakota.
Oh, God.
We lit it on fire.
That's cheaper.
Yeah.
It's cheaper to just run oil through the pipes than water at that point in time. Wow.
I mean, we were so close to Montana at that point, right in the middle of the oil, the big oil bust there.
Okay.
So we drive by all the rigs,
yep,
you know, going up and down and stuff, and we took some pictures with us hanging on the sign in Wisconsin too.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had some good memories there. I remember one time we played there. We played the Friday night because we always did a doubleheader.
Okay.
So we played the Friday night, and then we had to leave to go home, or not to go home, to go back to the hotel, and then go back there again Saturday because we always wanted to stay in a hotel and get a fresh shower and all that. Anyways, the winds came in really bad, like dang near a tornado. So we're driving back Friday night, like 1 a.m. or something like that, and we see all these people's tents flying up in the air, like Wizard of Oz. I'm like, oh shit! we're driving the trailer by, there's tents flying by, it's blowing our trailer around until we got to the hotel, and we're like, okay, that was pretty cool, but boy, I feel sorry for those people out there trying to camp.
Oh my God! Was that the Montana thing?
That was a Montana thing.
Okay, yeah. I gotcha.
Yeah, we were on our way back to the hotel, which was, I want to say it was about 20 miles from the venue.
Okay.
Yep.
And was that an outdoor venue?
It was an outdoor venue.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
You've played okay, so you've played like, I mean, since we're talking many, many years, you've played pretty much almost every scenario that you could potentially probably
pretty
play
much.
in.
I've played through downpour flooding, dang near tornado. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just about all of it. Blistering heat. Like 3 years ago, maybe, right right at the end of COVID, I believe it was. We played in South Dakota, and it was 103 degrees showtime. We were absolutely dying. It was so hot that they canceled the parade, but they kept the band because they had prepaid for us. And it was such a bust. I felt so sorry for them because they had like, whole town was going to be there. No one showed up except for maybe 40 people. So we played for 40 people in 103-degree weather. Almost died. It was so hot. Just melting.
You don't use tube amps, do you?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, my.
Oh, yeah. We had to cover them. We put like towels and stuff over top my amp so we wouldn't burn out the tubes and try to make sure we kept the PA cool, tucked it in anywhere we could underneath the stage. It was a nice big stage. Yeah. So we were able to tuck a lot of things underneath it, but I felt so bad. It was such a bust. We played, we gave it our all, but it was, like I said, it was so blistering hot.
Yeah. Now, did you tour like this when you were with Mortal Chaos as well?
No. In Mortal Chaos, we did get some cool outdoor shows too, but they all were local.
Okay. So you gathered all of these connections, just you being Sam.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's cool.
You know?
That's really cool, man. I really can respect that. That's
She sang with us at the Mirage reunion show at Nison's.
Yep.
And then actually, that was the first time I got to play side by side with Mike. Mike Garrison.
What did you guys play? You did like Maiden or something.
We did the Trooper.
Yes,
and that was like a dream come true to me. Because like I said, he was my favorite guitar player. Because St. was my favorite band in high school. Yeah. And he and I got to play that song together.
Yeah. Oh, so, wow.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That was, I remember that. I remember that. That was great. Played. What's the farthest place that you played?
The farthest we traveled to this point would be the Montana show.
And that's a lot of dead miles.
That's 11 hours straight. If you don't stop, it's an 11-hour drive.
Where you pass the gas station every 3 hours.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Yeah. Better make sure you get gas at every station.
Oh yeah.
We would make it so much fun though. Like the last couple of times we played there, we had our roadie who was Jeremy Rudai. He was our roadie for many years, and he still helps me out once in a while here and there. But he's been doing like a rock fest and all that stuff a lot lately. Yeah. But anyways, I'd always make him drive because that's what roadies do, and we would just go into YouTube and play all the 80s soundtracks and see who can guess them first. And we'd be singing along to them. I mean, we get like, in the burning heart, just about to burst. We do Rocky 4.
Oh, the movie soundtracks.
We do Rad.
Nice.
Ready to break the ice, you know. All that's cool stuff. And we're like,
what was the arm wrestling
over the top?
What was that song? Okay, I'm thinking of Karate Kid. You're the best around.
No one's gonna ever bring it down. Over the top, it was the top. Through the sky to down. It is a new beginning. Only you and I.
I just remember that movie because I turned my head sideways. I turned my hand backwards, and then it's like a switch.
It's kind of like a switch, you know, like a machine. You know, I just turn my head back.
You know, that's what I do.
What I do is I just try to take my hat and I turn it around, and it's like a switch that goes on. And when the switch goes on, I feel like another person. I feel like a truck, like a machine.
I love that movie though, man.
I love all those 80s movies.
Great. You can't go wrong.
Like Bloodsport with John Bloodsport. And this that way the guy when he starts trying to get everything.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Man. Yeah. So you Montana was. Do you go east at all or west at? East, yeah. Do you go east at all? You ever been like out to the East Coast type scenario?
We've never made out to the East Coast, but we used to play Montana, Iowa, Illinois, South Dakota, North Dakota, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. That's about it. I've always wanted to get out.
That's a long drive.
I've always wanted to get out to Florida or LA or Boston out that way, but we just haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
So maybe that'll be in the future. Rock Gods here, but it hasn't happened yet. So.
How are the guys with the traveling? How are you with the traveling? Are you guys good with like, hey, let's go. This is the weekend now.
You know, I don't mind it. I got used to it because, like I said, Rock Gods used to we used to do the 11-hour trip to Montana.
Yeah.
We would drive all the way there, except for we'd stop 20 miles shy and stay at that hotel. Bowman, North Dakota.
Nice.
There it is.
We
There it
got
is.
it.
Super 8 Bowman. That was our home away from home for many years.
Gotcha. And so what was the story you got on that one?
Okay, the story I got on. This was the Rock the Grounds in the college town we just talked about towards Alexandria, Morris, Minnesota.
Okay.
So we played Rock the Grounds, and we had a huge show. And at the very end, Uzi yells on the microphone, "Hey, everybody, we're staying at the Super 8, room 303.
Oh my
Party
God.
afterwards." So we go back to the hotel, do our thing with Rock Gods. Back in the day, we partied pretty hard. Maybe a couple of us took showers and stuff. And not realizing we heard all this commotion. And, well, our room was 203. This poor family was trying to sleep in 303. They said at least 100 people showed up to their door. Thinking they're partying with Rock Gods. Because we went down the hall like, oh my God. I'm like, Uzi. So, yeah, that poor family, I'm sure was just a dad, wife, and his kids. And they got woke up at 2 in the morning with a bunch of strangers banging on their door with bottles of Jack and Crown and ready to just throw down. But yeah, and then the coolest thing was when we got up that morning, we went to go eat at the local cafe or something, sports bar. And when Uzi and I walked in there, because we were always together, some of the other guys would go the other direction. When we walked in there, everyone started cheering, "Rock Gods!" They're all clapping and stuff.
Really?
Like what? They're like,
pretty cool.
you're kind of legends around here. Like, wow, we feel like Hairball or something.
Yeah, I know, right?
For a little bit. And yeah, so that was fun. That was a fun time. And I to this day, if you're the family out there that we woke up that night, all our fans did, we apologize.
I mean, you were so young when you started in this scene, and it was, I mean, because how much older were the Mortal Chaos guys than you?
They've got to be,
because they were like at least 10 years older.
They're a solid 10 years older than me, and the youngest one next to me, I believe, was Jeff. And
The other guitar player?
Yeah. Yep. So they were
It was just 4-piece, right?
we were 5 because we had, let me see, Mark Bellata, which was the singer and drummer.
Okay.
We had myself on lead guitar.
Yep.
Jeff Rosemark on rhythm guitar.
Yep.
David Bellata, Mark's brother, on keyboards.
On keyboard, I
And
forgot
Pat
you guys
Cleese
had
on bass.
keyboards.
Yeah, yeah, we were 5-piece.
Because you were able to do all those like Journey songs, and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff too.
Yep. Mark was a heck of a singer too. I still got to give it a shout out to you, Mark. If you ever watch this, dude, we need you to come back. Time for a Mortal Chaos reunion.
Oh, that would be fun.
There's 1 or 2 shows, South Metro,
Yes.
North Metro. Let's do it.
Yeah. So, did you ever talk to Pat or any of those guys?
I talk to Pat once in a while and Jeff once in a while. I have not talked to David or Mark in years. And,
Yeah.
I definitely like to say hi to both of them. And,
Yeah.
and,
Well, you guys were perfect at that time for the music, because there was you guys, there was Rockfist,
Yep.
that was going on at that same time, and like you mentioned before, Def Replica,
Yep.
and
Touched.
Touch. Yeah, that was part of my day too, because
Yep.
Touch was earlier. But yeah, I remember there was a lot of bands that were playing right around that time frame.
Rat Pack Radio.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. But so, okay, let's take a few minutes and talk about the members of your band. I know that we touched slightly on them and stuff
Sure.
like that, but we did just bring up that Terrace was from
Acheron. Yep.
And he was in Eldegard.
Yep.
He was in, I want to say Guardian was another band that he was in.
Okay.
And I think that was an original band.
Yep.
But Terrace, he's a great guitar player and bass player. He's got a great voice.
He's a great singer.
Yeah, he's
Yep.
got a great
Yep.
singer. He's
Yep.
a great voice. And then you got Johnny Strutt, who's about as solid as any drummer you're going to meet out
Yep.
there. You know, I mean, he's... And talk about a guy that is just so beloved by everybody.
He's just he's such a
Everybody
great dude.
sees him. It's like he's like, wow, that's Johnny Strutt. He's like the nicest guy I've ever met. You know what I
Yep,
mean? So you got
yep.
him, and now you got We're gonna still call him the kid, even though he's almost 30 now. He's the kid.
Yeah.
And what's his name again? Ian?
Isaac.
Isaac.
Yeah. I'm sure he's totally cool with that. Yeah, he's about as solid as I get to.
God, what's
just
some
a great,
pipes
great
on
person.
him, man?
And the pipes, oh yeah.
And he's growing into it, I'm guessing, huh? Was he shaky at all when he started? Was he scared or anything?
Not really. Like I said, he was so young, but he had already been in the band Vulcan, which was all a bunch of young kids right out of high school, or they were actually still in high school.
Okay.
And they were really good.
Okay.
They were really good, and they were all about the 80s, being that young, which was just crazy because when he was in Vulcan, he was like 17, I think, 17, 18. And, there are a bunch of kids playing Motley Crue. And Quiet Riot
really?
And Skid Row.
Really?
and
he's hitting all of it. Yeah.
Yep.
That was so surprising to me. And then now I'm not familiar with your other guitar player. And who is that now?
Jason, he played in some bands, I believe, in high school, but if I'm not mistaken, I'm sure he'll correct me if he watches this.
Yeah.
I don't think he did anything really after that. And then until he and I met in the Army together. So we
were
met,
in the
we
Army.
met in 1993 in the Army at camp. And that was a great story in its own because he pulls up in his Mustang. He had an amazing Cobra back in the day, Mustang Cobra.
If I can back you up just a second, though.
Yep.
So when were you in the Army?
1993.
Oh, okay.
Till 2002.
So like out of high school, you just went in, or what?
I went in the day I turned 17.
Oh, really? And then how long were you in for?
11 years.
What?
Sorry, no. 9 years.
Still.
Because I went in 93, I got out in 2002.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. So you didn't play anywhere from 93 to 2002?
No, I played. Oh, sorry. Yes, I went in the Army, but it was a National Guard. So
Oh,
I only
okay.
had to be like actually gone and mobilized for 4.5 months for like the whole training and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, no, I did the majority of the stint at home.
I thought you were.
Minnesota.
I thought you were.
No, you thought I was
like,
sorry. Yeah,
seriously, my brain was like,
Yeah.
did we just have a conversation for over an hour talking about stuff from that time period? So you were in the Army, but you were still playing?
Yeah, but not active Army. I was in the National Guard.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
So he and I both met in the National Guard, and then we became very good friends right away. And like, I play guitar, I do too. And like, see, you're wearing a Pantera shirt, and we just hit it off like that.
That's
and then
crazy.
he's followed my band and seen Rock Gods many times throughout our lives. And then he even used to go see my brother and Charlie and stuff in Plaid.
Yeah.
And then just a few years ago, I finally was just like, he started filling in a little bit. Like, he'd play when he wanted to a little bit. Like, I'll play the show.
Putting his toe in the water.
Yeah, I'll kind of get out of the house a little bit. And we just got to the point where he started playing all the time. I'm like, dude, you're part of the band now. Let's get you on the posters.
Yeah, no good.
Yep. So we made it a 5-piece, and not looking back, and it's been just amazing.
Yeah,
being able to play the dual leads with them and have my best friend on stage with me, and
That's great. I'm finding that through these interviews, that's very similar. You got Al and Mike from Sanctus. You have Marco and his buddy, I think his name was Frank. They were in high school.
Yeah.
And then they both got put into this room because they were better than the instructor. And so they had to go and learn their own lessons, so they'd work off each other. And now you with your best buddy, now it's like, it's crazy. These guitar teams are not like, one guy's over here, one guy's over here. You like find each other way early in life and then put it together. That's cool.
Yeah.
So then you got your best buddy on stage with you.
Yeah.
You got some of the most solid players that you could ever have, and then you got an incredible vocalist. I mean, it's like, is this exactly the way you want it right now? Is this perfect?
Yeah, it's pretty much perfect.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, do you plan on traveling a lot with this band, or is this band more local?
I'm hoping so. It's there's something in the works. I hope it goes through, but I can't make any guarantees. But there's a chance we might get out to North Carolina this fall.
Wow, that's cool. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Okay? Well,
you can if you want. Yeah, it's a big part of who I am too. Is I'm part of the Viking World Order, VWO. I am Sir Rock Gods in the VWO, and we are doing a big party out there for the away game versus the Tennessee Titans. And sorry, actually, it won't be North Carolina. Then it'll be Tennessee. So we are trying to arrange it that Rock Gods gets to play a night out in Nashville for
Wow.
that game versus the Tennessee Titans that weekend.
Wow, that'd be so
So-
cool.
so that'd be cool.
I mean, there's so many people that have moved down to Nashville now. I got like 4 or 5
Oh,
friends.
I
that are
got
down
so
there
many
now,
friends
too.
that moved out there too. I mean, Bo Lastovich, who was killing it with his band True Villains, he was part of Rock Gods.
Oh,
for a
was he
while.
really?
Yeah, he was my singer for Rock Gods too. So
God.
even if they weren't full-fledged members, we've had a lot of fill-in subs for certain nights. Members of Hairball have played with us before.
Yeah.
We had a lot of talent come through this band for sure.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And now to be right at a perfect spot, and you guys all get along real good and everything.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
that's
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You know?
I can't imagine ever getting into a fight with either Johnny or Terrace. I can't.
Honestly, I don't think Johnny and I have had one argument in our entire lives, which I think that's actually amazing. And I've known Johnny for over 20 years.
Yeah.
I think because I knew him back in the Mortal Chaos days. We were
Okay.
friends. So I think I've known Johnny for, I want to say, 25 years now, probably. And I don't think we've even so much as had an argument. So Strut, if you're listening to this, hats off to you, buddy. I've also never had an argument with Jason, my best friend. That's
Yeah.
pretty amazing too. We're playing the Richfield VFW outside on the 4th of July weekend.
What?
So Saturday, July 6th. Yeah, you
Really?
should mark that down on your calendar.
Okay. Yeah, I'm from Richfield. That's
You
my
gotta come on
stomping
out.
ground.
I believe there is an opening band before us, and then we'll be headlining the night. So, but still be a fairly early show. I'm imagine we go on like 7 or 8.
Pre-fireworks, maybe.
Yeah, and then I imagine the fireworks will probably be either right after we're done or between last set or something.
Okay.
So we haven't discussed exact times yet.
Yeah.
But I know there's an opening band. I know Rock Gods is headlining, and it's going to be
Okay.
Saturday, July 6th at the Richfield VFW in the parking lot.
It's a VFW, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, because you guys worked with Missy over at the Richfield Legion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to school with her too.
Yeah, I used to love playing that place when Missy and Jeff both worked there.
Oh, yeah.
Now Jeff is the one at the Richfield VFW.
Oh, he is? Okay.
Yeah, he's the
All right.
manager over there.
That's so strange. We have just so many connections
They're
between
a
people
great
that are.
couple. They're great
Oh,
people.
yeah.
Well, my dad was a musician his whole life, and he could play every single instrument except for the guitar.
All right, we got to go down that road here. All right, so you grew up with your dad playing music?
Yes, he was a band teacher for most of his life. He started off being a band teacher in Ascove, where I grew up, and then he ended up working in Duluth for those schools till he retired.
Oh, really?
4 different schools in Duluth. Yep, band teacher, phy ed teacher. He had a double major, and he loved music. But my introduction to metal and guitar was interesting because when I was really young, my dad grew up very, very strong in the classical background.
Okay.
So to him, electric guitar was just screaming, noise-making stuff. He didn't think it was actual talent. So when I told him, I said, Dad, I want to play guitar. He's like, well, you have to learn a real instrument first. So I took trumpet. And I'm like, okay, buy me a trumpet from Holly Music in Duluth. And I'm like, all right, Sam, let's see how you do. So we come to class for music class. It must have been like only a week into it or something. And we get to class. Everyone's playing. Mary had a little limp. And I start playing taps. And they're like, what the hell?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I picked it up pretty quick. I was
Wow.
decent at playing trumpet. My dad's like probably all excited, like, yeah, Sam's gonna be a trumpet player. And then I'm like, I want to play sax, Dad.
Yeah.
So then I learned how to play sax, and I wanted to be the bigger sax, even though I was really short. I was small.
You want the tenor?
So I went for the tenor, not quite the Barry because that's just
Yeah.
too big, but I went for the tenor, not the alto.
Yeah.
So I played sax for a while, did okay in that. Then I went to trombone, was able to play that a little bit, and then my dad's biggest his instrument was the euphonium. He was really, really good at that.
Oh,
that was
wow.
like his main
That
instrument.
thing's huge.
The euphonium, nope, that's the mid-sized one. It's between the French horn and tuba. So the euphonium's not quite as big. It's the really it's a really fancy. Yeah.
All right, all
so
right.
not that he played the euphonium, and then I learned the French horn for this a little bit, and then after that, then I went to drums because I'm like, okay, I definitely wanted to play drums. So this whole thing was a stepping stone to trying to get to play guitar. And my dad said, "You have to learn how to play learn how to play a real instrument before I buy you a guitar." So I learned all these instruments, and then I started playing drums. I got pretty good at that. And then finally, I said, "Dad, can I play guitar now?" He goes, "Okay, I guess you've earned it."
Wow.
And then he bought the first guitar he bought me though was not even a guitar. It was a piece of wood from Sears with barbed wire for strings. Because it was so high off the fingerboard. If you push them down, you're 4 steps out of tune already because of how high they were.
Was it like a silver tone or something?
Yeah, it was a Sears special, like no name on it,
with
just
the switches,
generic.
like light switch almost type things.
Yes, just a
the red sunburst.
Yes, it's the red, the sunburst with the brown and black.
Yeah, okay.
It was an absolute piece of garbage.
Yeah.
So
action was a little high on it.
A little high. That's why I said barbed wire.
Yeah, so you could stick your finger underneath it.
Yeah, easily your whole fist.
So that was your first
That
guitar.
was my first guitar.
And you just ripped your fingers apart.
You
on
ripped
it?
my fingers apart, realized everything I was playing was out of tune because I go to push it down before I hit the frets. It was like 4 steps. So it'd be so So I took my first loan out through Holly Music again in Duluth. I got a Charvel.
Oh, nice.
With one knob, one pickup, Charvel. Just very bare bones, but it was set up right. It was in tune, and that's how I learned how to play guitar. Yeah, this was a long time ago. Like, so that was my second guitar. So I must have been 16, I believe. And
Charvels are nice too, especially that.
Charvels are great. I got a bunch of Charvels now.
Yeah.
But yeah, they let me finance it because I was a young kid, still in high school, and all that. And I want to say it was $300.
Yeah.
And I get to finance it for $50 a month. So I worked at the local grocery store to make money to pay it off, and then I bought an amp, and the rest is history. And then finally, I just started buying guitars and playing. And
what's your go-to now? As far as
my go-to, I actually just purchased my dream guitar. Yeah. I have a 2024 PRS Custom 10 Top cherry smoke burst that I have named Cherry Forever.
Oh, nice.
And she's absolutely beautiful. And if you come see Rock God show, chances are you will see me playing it. Unless it's outdoors and really hot, it won't leave the case. He was my good old trusty Larry Reed, which was my baby that I've had since 1994. That guitar is very old, and that one it's a red PRS 94 PRS custom, and that is not a 10 top, but it was very old, and I got a very good deal on it from Guitar Center. But that one's named Larry Reed because my dad, whenever he tried to brag to his friends, well, yeah. Sam, what kind of guitar you play again? He's like, oh yeah, he plays that Larry Reed Smith. I'm like, no, Dad, it's Paul Reed Smith, PRS. He's like, oh yeah, okay, Larry Reed. so I call my red guitar now Larry Reed.
Now, what was the Zakk Wylde thing that you had? Was that an actual Gibson or was it a Epiphone?
I still have that too, and I do play it. Yeah. I think I even played it last show. That is a custom Zakk Wylde Bullseye Les Paul. Yeah. Is serial number 775, so the only 775th model made, and that was purchased in 2005, and Zakk himself signed it in March of 2005.
No kidding.
Yep. When I saw BLS back then it was the Quest.
Okay, right downtown, yeah.
Yep. Got it signed at the Quest, and that guitar is an absolute beaut.
Yeah.
Very heavy. I got it in 2005. Yep.
Was that your primary guitar back then?
Back then, it was still my PRS.
Okay.
I would play both. I go between the red PRS and the Zakk Wylde. And back then, that guitar comes with EMG 81 and 85 pickups. Okay. I swapped those out many years ago because I do not like active pickups. For anyone listening, Sam does not play active pickups. I hate them. I swapped them out for bare knuckle pickups. 90% of my guitars have bare knuckles in them.
Oh, I
just
gotcha.
Absolutely love the guitar tone in them. They last forever. They're actually warranted forever. They're amazing. Absolutely, just hands down amazing.
What was your first amp?
My first amp was my very first amp was a crate.
The crate. Was it the wooden crate?
It was.
Did it have the wood around it?
Nope. It had the black Tolex. But
Okay.
it was that little one that everyone probably remembers seeing at Schmidt Music. When you
Okay.
walk into Schmidt Music, I know Mike on the wall about this one.
Yeah.
But he probably stole them or right there. Yep. And I had that one. And then when I went to a real amp, I went to a solid state Ampeg. And
Okay. Interesting.
I had that for years. And that thing sounded amazing
was
for
that
many years.
was that a combo amp or was that
No, that was a 100-watt head, solid state,
okay? And what did you
with the 4x12 cabinet.
with the Ampeg 4x12
Yep.
as well? Oh, okay. Really, for guitar, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I had an Ampeg with bass, but
Yep.
yeah.
That was a long time ago though. That solid state Ampeg. I mean, we're talking like 1993,
Okay.
90,
gotcha.
91,
Gotcha.
somewhere around that time somewhere.
Heavy as hell.
No, not too bad. Well, I don't remember. I was really strong back then, so I don't know.
That's when you were bodybuilding earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was young and didn't have any fat on me. I don't know. So,
Yeah.
Yep. And then from there, I bought a Carvin. I bought a Carvin tube amp. I had that for many years. That was actually a really good amp. For the price, it was just unbeatable because it had great tone. Its clean tone was absolutely amazing. And I had that for quite a while. And then now the last many years, I've been playing 5150s.
Really?
I love 5150s. Yep.
With the bare knuckle pickups, and then
Yep, bare knuckle pickups.
and you're a PRS,
5150.
you're a Lou Reed. What is it, Lou Reed? Larry Reed.
Yeah, Larry Reed Smith.
Larry Reed Smith. Yeah,
Yeah.
getting a guitar. Well, that's cool. That's cool. What a progression. That's really kind of cool. I'm picturing that silver tone though. I think that everybody had their hands
I think
on
everyone
one of
had
those.
that. The old Sears special.
Yeah. You get it from the catalog back
You
in
get
my
from the
day.
catalog. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's interesting though that your dad was a music teacher, and how do you feel about you once you did start playing? Did he ever give you the pat on the back?
Absolutely. That's what he talked about my Larry Reed and stuff. He bragged to all his friends again about how good I was and how good the bands were I was in, and he learned to take a liking onto it, something I never expected because my dad, I think, for many years he got a little bit more into rock, like he really started to enjoy Journey and Zeppelin and all them. But by the time he was, I want to say 60, 65, he was all about Maiden and
Yes.
Metallica, Megadeth.
Yes.
My dad loved all that cool stuff. I'm like,
Yes.
what have I been telling you for 30 years, Dad? I told you.
He gets in the car.
This is it, man. This is what you want to listen
He's
to.
playing Charlotte the Harlot.
So yeah. So like his little USB drive thing he'd pop in his car. Music would go from like Bach to the Trooper, and in
Nice.
between Queensryche. I was like, "Oh, Dad, you have no idea how happy this makes me." Oh yeah, Motley Crue. He loved Motley Crue too. Rat.
Wow.
He loved anything that had good talent in it, a good beat and hooks, and yeah, he was into all of it. And he would come to my shows as much as he could until he got much older and didn't like traveling and driving too much. Then it was only if we're playing in the hometown. But yeah, he enjoyed watching me play, and
That's awesome. And I'm guessing that part of your musical ability comes from your DNA.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My brother, if he watches this too, he can play a hell of a bass, and he's a really good singer. And it was all natural to him too. Never took a lesson. Same thing. And it's in our blood.
That's great. That's great.
My mom, she can play piano as well.
Oh,
and
really?
She can sing.
Wow. So you got that going on. That's great. Not everybody has that in their. Some of us had to learn it on our own. My dad came to see my show once when first time we ever played First Avenue, which was the night this broke.
Yep.
My dad got to the door and put the money down. I think it was like $8 or something like that at the door. We started playing. He pulled the money back and he went up to McDonald's downtown. Like, there's no way I'm listening to anybody play this kind of music.
Oh no!
But my dad was he liked show tunes. You know what I mean? So, but that's great that you had such an influence. They made you play all those different instruments and everything like that.
Did.
Every single one of them built on who you are, which is probably why you're able to do all the things that you can do now. Do you ever play any other instruments when you're in Rock Gods?
At the beginning, we used to do a little switcheroo. There was a couple songs where we'd like switch mid-song, and I'd hop back to drums, and then Uzi would grab my guitar and play the lead solo, and then the singer would grab the bass, and then actually Sean, who was my drummer, would come out front and then front it.
Oh, really?
So we used to do a lot of switcheroos a little bit. So once in a while, yeah, I can still throw on the bass once in a while and play some drums.
Yeah, that's cool.
But it's
you never pull out the trumpet and hit a little low rider
no,
or nothing?
I would need so much practice to play trumpet again. I'm definitely gonna go on tape here saying I'm not great right now.
Dizzy,
I was okay at
Dizzy Gillespie's
at 10
just
years
fine.
old and 12 years old. I was pretty decent. I probably could have been a very good trumpet player, but I did not stick with it. Like I said, I hopped from instrument to instrument till I finally climbed the stairs all the way to the guitar, and then I didn't leave.
Gotcha.
And the thing I've worked on most probably in the last quite a few years is actually my voice. I always want to become a good singer because I know I'm not a great singer, and I never want to be a front man. I still admit that to this day, but I do like to sing, and I do a lot of harmonies in Rock Gods, and I front a couple of songs when needed.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, I think that we should probably wrap her up. It has been an awesome time having you down here.
Thanks so much for having me, buddy.
Thanks a lot, Sam. I appreciate you coming in here. It's always good to see you. Where can people find Rock Gods on the internet?
They can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and the actual website, rockgodstribute.com.
And that is with a Z. It's Rock Gods.
That is with a Z.
Yeah, it was great to have you, and I really appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. Thanks.
All right, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Take care. Thank you.
Yeah, you too.